Hello guys, this is a new lecture containing the MCQs, multiple choice questions about the topic depreciation. So we will discuss a few multiple choice questions relating to the topic depreciation. So let's come to our first MCQs, that is the main object of providing depreciation is. That is, what's the main idea, what is the main purpose of the term depreciation or the concept depreciation, that what is the main story or the logic behind the depreciation. So there are four options available. First is to calculate net profit, second one is to show the previous profit, third one is to satisfy the tax department, and the last one is to reduce tax. So the answer is the first one, that is so this first one is the answer, that is the main object of providing the depreciation is to calculate the net profit, because the depreciation is basically an expense, and while we are going to calculate the net profit or the net income, then we have to aggregate all the expenses during a particular period of time. So that's why the main object of providing the depreciation is what is the calculation of the net profit. Second MCQs is depreciation arises because of that. What are the reasons that the depreciation basically arises? So these reasons are: first is wear and tear, second one is the decrease in the value of assets, third one is the increase in the value of liability, and fourth one is the decrease in capital. So the reasons that why there is a decrease in the value of assets, that is if we see the second point, that there is the decrease in the value of asset, that is because that is the effect, and what is the cause? So the cause is the wear and tear. So the option first is true, that wear and tear, the wear and tear, it may be in the physical form or it may be in the form of the obsoleteness or any other reason. So that is the reason that our fixed asset except the land get depreciates, or they decrease their value with the passage of time. Next one is depreciation is a process of allocation, second one is the valuation, third one is the both A and B, and fourth one is none of these. So what is the correct answer? That depreciation is a process of. So the depreciation, sometimes the students are confused that whether the is allocation is the answer of this question or valuation. So simply say allocation means the conversion of the portion of asset into the expense, that when we use the fixed assets over a period of time, some portion of the fixed asset basically decreases along with its use, and that conversion of the portion of an asset into the expense is called allocation, while the valuation is basically concerned to determine the value of a particular asset. So the correct answer of this question is the allocation and not the valuation. That depreciation is the process of the allocation, not the valuation. Our next question is, under the straight line method of providing the depreciation, it first answer is increases every year, second one is decreases every year, third remains constant every year, and fourth one is the none of the given options. So as the name suggests, that it is a straight line method. So straight line means if you basically put a graph, let's say. So in this particular graph, when we see that this graph remains same, that is this remains same, let's say. So it does not, for example, variate with the passage of time. It does not variate with the passage of time. That's why it called as the straight line the depreciation. So in case of the straight line depreciation, when we will determine the value of of the asset, it will remain constant and it will never decrease or increase with the passage of time. So this is the option third, that is the correct answer. Next, in depreciation to machinery debited to. So the depreciation to the depreciation to machinery debited to the what? To the basically profit and loss account, because when we there is an increase in the profit and loss account, so this account is basically what? This account is basically credited, while if there is a loss or there is an expense and there is a decrease in the profit, so that is basically what? That is debited. So the this question is answer is what? It's a debit. Depreciation to the machinery, debit to the profit and loss account. The next one is total amount of the depreciation of an asset cannot exceed its. So scrap value, that is our salvage value. What is the salvage value? Salvage value means that is the value of an asset that is left after the of the depreciable value, that is the scrap value, or that is the that is the salvage value. Second one is the market value. Third one is the depreciation value. So the correct answer is the depreciation value, that the amount of depreciation of an asset cannot exceed its depreciation value. Next, in depreciation is necessary to calculate what? To net profit. Second one is the net financial position. Third one is the tax, and fourth one is none of them. So we calculate depreciation in order to calculate the word net profit. As we know that there are expenses and there are the revenues. So in order to calculate the net profit, we have to accumulate all the expenses and we have to accumulate all the revenues, so in order to get net income of the net profit. So that particular case is concerned, that is the net profit. Then we have the depreciation of the plant will be written on the word. Depreciation of the plant will be written on the profit and loss account, trading account, asset account, or balance sheet. So the depreciation of the plant, because it's a depreciation, and depreciation is what? The depreciation is basically is an expense. So that's why it will be presented, or it will be shown on the profit and loss account. Then we have a depreciation of a currency. Depreciation of the currency means when there is a decrease in the value of a particular currency, or we say that it is the devaluation of the currency. So it means the value of the currency falls. The second one is the value of the currency increases. Third one is inflation falls, and fourth one is the balance of payment improves. So if there is a depreciation of currency, it means the value of the currency falls. So the first answer is right. Then we have the which of the following item provides the important function of shielding part of the income taxes. First is the inventory, second one is the supplies, third one is the machinery, and fourth one is the depreciation. So let's see what is a shield in case of the income, part of the income from the taxes. See, if there are a large number of the expenses, if we have huge expenses, it means we will have a lesser profit. That our profit will be what? Our profit will be lesser one. If our expenses are in huge amount, then automatically our profit will be less. So when the profit is the less, so the tax value will be also a minimum. Because in case of the depreciation, the right answer is the depreciation, because the depreciation is a non-cash payment. Non-cash payment. There is no basically payment of the cash. We only record in the financial books. So if there is the non-cash expenses, there are the huge number of the expenses, so our profit will be less, and when there is a less profit, then we will have to pay less taxes. That's why it is also known as the shielding part of the income taxes, or shielding against the taxes. Next one is the effect of inflation on the price competitiveness of a country's product may be offset by what? An appreciation of the currency, a revaluation of the currency, a depreciation of the currency, or the lower inflation abroad. So see, the effect of the inflation on the price competitiveness of a products may be offset by if there is the effect of the inflation on the price competitiveness, so it can be and the appreciation of the of the currency, because if there is the appreciation of the currency, it means the purchasing power of the currency is what? The purchasing power is basically purchasing power of the currency is improved. So when the purchasing power is improved, it means that the value of the currency is accelerated or appreciated, and it can affect the inflation on the price competitiveness. Then we have depreciation decreases. What? It decreases liabilities, or it decreases the cash, or it decreases the capital, and it decreases the bank. Now let's see what is depreciation. Depreciation is basically, this is an expense, and we know that expenses leads they affect the what? They affect the capital, or they affect the what the owner's equity section. It does not have nothing to do with the liabilities, nothing to do with the cash, and nothing to do with the bank. So the only option is the capital. That is, whenever there is a depreciation expenses, so it will decrease our the capital, so it decreases the capital. 3 is the correct answer. Then we have, which of the following would not lead to an increase in the net cash flow? Net cash flow, that what among the following would not lead to the increase in the net cash flow? If we have the higher selling price, so it will lead to increase in the net cash flow. If there is the reduced material cost, it will also lead to the increase in the cash flow. And if there are large scale volumes, it will also increase the net cash flow. If there is a lower depreciation charge, because it is non-cash. It is what? It is non-cash, and it does not affect our cash position. So that is the right answer. That is the 4. Then we have, which of the following is not a cash outflow? So depreciation, because we see that it is a non-cash item. If we purchase a new equipment, we will provide cash. We will give out cash. If we cash drawings, so it will also decrease cash, and the commission paid, we will also pay cash. So depreciation is what? It is a non-cash item. That is the reason that it will not a cash outflow. Then depreciation arises because of what? Fall in the market value of an asset, physical wear and tear, fall in the value of money. So this is the what? Physical wear and tear. There is a physical wear and tear in the value of an asset, so it will cause it will arises the depreciation. Next, how do we describe the process of adjusting the value of an asset? By recognizing that it is consumed in a way that it does not completely eliminate the source. So it is important to understand here, it does not completely eliminate the source. That is, some portion of the fixed asset is converted into the expense, or we can say that it is now the expired portion, but it is not completely eliminated. So that is what? That is our depreciation. That is what? That is the depreciation, whereby some portion of an asset is what is consumed or expired, while not complete elimination of the resources. Then we have, which of the following most closely defines the amortization? As we know, the depreciation is for the what? These are the for the fixed assets. For what? For fixed assets, and not for the for the intangible assets. So the term which is used for the what, for the intangible assets like the copyrights, like the patents, etc., then we use the term amortization. So this is the answer is B, the depreciation of intangible fixed assets. If it is of the fixed assets, then it will be what, it will be a depreciation. Then what is process called where costs of the natural resources are allocated over its useful life? One is the capitalization, depletion, amortization, depreciation. So see, depreciation is for the fixed assets, amortization is for the intangible assets, while capitalization is not among the is not related to the above question. So the only answer is the what, depletion. Whenever there is the depletion of natural resources, it may be in the form of the minerals or coals or mines or the oil wells, etc. In that particular case, those natural resources are what, they are depleted. That's why this answer, depletion, is correct. This is the end.